I'm Daley Giacopella. My co-host is Sadie Bruni, and this is episode 48 of the Italian Americans in Hollywood podcast series.
Today we're examining the career of Anjelica Huston.
She's a true Hollywood icon.
With an elegant and strong presence and such talent.
And of course, she comes from that iconic Huston family in entertainment.
Anjelica's story is much more than being John Huston's daughter, though.
Right. We'll look at the woman behind those iconic roles. We'll trace her Italian heritage.
And we'll look at her career in Hollywood.
Cassari.
She was born in Santa Monica.
In 1951.
But she spent a lot of her childhood on a family estate in Ireland.
In County Galway.
Yes, and that cross-cultural upbringing really had a big impact on her.
It must have shaped her whole worldview and really nurtured her artistic sensibilities.
Exactly.
And of course, she's the daughter of that legendary filmmaker.
John Huston.
Right. And her mother was Italian-American model and ballerina Enrica Soma.
So she was surrounded by creative energy as a child.
For sure. And we can't forget about her grandfather.
The great Walter Huston.
Another Hollywood legend. I mean, talk about artistry in her blood.
Yeah, her Italian heritage comes from her mother's side.
Her maternal grandparents.
Exactly. They were from Brava.
Which is in Lombardy in northern Italy.
That's right.
And Anjelica followed her father and her brother Tony Huston.
Who was a screenwriter.
Into the entertainment industry, adding to the Huston family's Hollywood legacy.
Yeah.
Before acting, though, Anjelica was a model.
Photographed by Richard Avedon?
Among others.
Yes. And her striking features and natural poise translated so well to the screen.
She did have some early acting training in London, but she really honed her skills on film sets.
Working alongside her father.
And other industry veterans.
A true masterclass in filmmaking.
It really must have been.
Yeah.
Anjelica's film debut was in 1969.
In A Walk with Love and Death.
Which was directed by her father.
Yes, it wasn't a huge hit.
But it was the beginning of a very long and distinguished career.
With over 70 films to her name.
Showcasing such amazing versatility. Her breakthrough role came in 1985.
In Prizzi's Honor.
Directed by her father.
Where she played Morose Prizzi.
For which she won an Oscar.
For Best Supporting Actress.
It really showed her ability to play complex characters with such depth.
And then there's her iconic portrayal of Morticia Addams.
From the Addams Family.
In 1991.
And its sequel.
Such a classic performance.
The permanent fixture in pop culture.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget her performance in The Witches.
From 1990.
Which is still so captivating for audiences today.
Mm-hmm.
Anjelica's received so many awards throughout her career.
Golden Globe and Emmy nominations.
A true testament to her impact on both film and television.
And more recently, she had a role in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum.
In 2019.
Showing that her career is still going strong.
Anjelica's a passionate advocate for animal rights, too.
Working with organizations, PETA.
She really uses her platform to raise awareness for important causes.
She's also written a memoir.
A Story Lately Told.
Giving us a glimpse into her life.
Anjelica was married to sculptor Robert Graham.
Until his death in 2008.
They didn't have any children.
And of course, her relationship with Jack Nicholson was a big deal.
A high-profile romance that really caught the public's attention.
Yeah. Don't forget to and subscribe.
Check out this book on Italian-American history, too.
The link is in the description. Anjelica Huston really lived life on her own terms.
She defied expectation.
Her career was all about artistry, passion, and resilience.
She really is inspiring when you think about her impact on Hollywood and all those other Italian-American actresses.
Yeah, it makes you think about the unsung heroes, too.
Whose contributions deserve more recognition.
For sure.
I find it fascinating to think about Anjelica's childhood in Ireland.
Immersed in that artistic atmosphere.
Yeah, surrounded by all that creative energy.
Definitely, that must have shaped her perspective and her creative spirit.
And even though her first film didn't become a big success,
right,
it's obvious that she was determined to succeed.
Absolutely. It takes resilience to make it in the entertainment industry.
And she definitely had that.
Yeah.
And then that transition from modeling to acting.
It shows how versatile she was.
And her willingness to explore different kinds of artistic expression.
And being photographed by Richard Avedon just shows how captivating her presence was.
He was a master at capturing personality.
Yeah.
That early training in London gave her a good foundation. It was really that hands-on experience on set that made her a great actress.
Learning from legends John Huston.
That must have been invaluable for her.
A true masterclass in filmmaking.
And then her filmography is so diverse.
Spanning all these genres, from drama to comedy to fantasy.
It shows how talented she is and how committed to pushing creative boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
and her advocacy for animal rights,
Shows a different side to her.
her empathy, and her desire to make a difference.
Yeah, and her relationship with Jack
It
Nicholson.
was such a captivating romance.
It reminds us that even the most famous people have complex personal lives.
And fame and success don't shield you from life's ups and downs.
And that's for sure.
Anjelica's story is ultimately one of resilience and talent.
And staying true to herself.
She made her own way in Hollywood.
And left an impact that will last.
Her Italian-American heritage is such a big part of that legacy.
It really shows the contributions that Italian Americans have made to the entertainment world.
It really does, and it makes you think about how important it is to recognize all the cultures that have shaped Hollywood.
And that continue to enrich it.
Yeah.
Anjelica reminds us that representation matters, and that there are so many stories out there waiting to be told.
Stories that can change our perspectives and inspire us.
Exactly.
Let's remember to celebrate diversity and recognize those who have shaped the world of entertainment.
Their stories really add to our appreciation of cinema.
And help us understand the human experience.
Don't forget to tag Glayman and subscribe.
And check out this book on Italian-American history.
You can find the link in the description.
Thinking about Anjelica's upbringing in America and Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
it really makes you wonder how that shaped her artistic perspective.
Yeah, that cross-cultural exposure must have given her such a unique way of seeing the world.
And understanding characters.
For sure, and her family's history in Hollywood.
Definitely played a part in her path.
Having a father and a grandfather in the industry,
And her brother, too.
it must have instilled a deep appreciation for storytelling in her.
And the power of film.
Absolutely.
We talked about her training in London.
Right.
But it'd be great to explore how that formal education
Yeah.
contrasted with the experience she got on set.
It's so interesting to think about how those two approaches work together.
The formal training, giving her the foundation,
And then the real-world experience.
putting it all into practice.
Yeah, it's almost...
The best of both worlds.
It
A
is.
structured learning environment.
But also that dynamic energy of a film set.
And then there's the mentorship from her father.
John Huston.
A true legend.
What a privilege to have access to that kind of guidance
It really was a masterclass in filmmaking.
that very few people get to experience.
It shows how talented Anjelica is.
And dedicated.
That she could learn from that and still forge her own path.
She didn't just rely on her family name.
She earned her own success.
Exactly, and you can see that in her filmography.
It's so diverse.
She didn't stick to just one kind of role.
From Morticia Addams to Morose Prizzi.
She played such a range of characters.
She wasn't afraid to push boundaries.
And explore new things, and that's what makes her such an icon.
She never stopped growing as an artist.
Always looking for new challenges.
And speaking of challenges,
Uh-huh.
her commitment to animal rights.
Really shows her compassion.
It shows that she wants to make a difference.
To use her influence for good.
Anjelica Huston is a true inspiration.
Talented actress.
Passionate advocate.
Someone who shows you that you can live a life full of purpose and creativity.
And that's a wrap for this episode.
Make sure to and subscribe.
And don't forget to check out this book on Italian-American history.
The link is in the description.